how do I even open this? It's snowing. It's officially, I think winter's just officially arrived. It's been such nice weather until now, and I'm not saying snow isn't nice weather, but it's definitely very wet right now. The ground is completely blanketed in snow. But this vlog today is just going to be a quick roundup really of the year. It's been such a mad, crazy year, and starting this vlog has been such a joy. It's been so fun and fulfilling, and building this community has just been awesome, and it continues to grow. The conversations that we're having online, both on YouTube and on Discord now, are just fantastic, and I'd love to keep it growing. But in about 2-3 weeks now, I go away to Spain to shoot a film. So it's going to go very quiet for at least a couple of weeks, because then it's Christmas after that. So I just wanted to really quickly talk about plans moving forward, kind of review the year really quickly, and just talk about what's to come with this vlog once I get back. So that's kind of a heads up. If you have been watching my vlogs and haven't yet subscribed, please do, because when I take a little break very shortly, I will be coming back, and I'd love to let you know when I am back. But it's been a mad old year. Started out this vlog with the Royal Enfield 650, the Interceptor. We went from London to Bosnia and back. And for those of you that are still watching those vlogs and commenting, it just makes my day whenever I get a comment on one of those vlogs saying that you've watched it or finished the whole thing. It blows my mind. It was such a mad trip. It was a dream for me, and it's kind of part of the reason why I ended up landing on this bike. I guess we can cut really quickly right here to the trailer for London to Bosnia and back. That's like the fundamentals where I learned how to vlog, because this is all very new to me. So they started out really kind of rough and ready, and then slowly, gradually got better. Then I kind of experimented with some sounds and the vlogging that I want to do. And then I came back to basic stuff like this, which I think is much more suited to what I'm trying to do here. So go check that out if you haven't already, if you want to check it out. I'm now aware that everyone that's subscribed for the Interceptor may now be kind of annoyed that I don't have an Interceptor anymore, and those of you that are here for the MT might not be bothered about seeing the Interceptor. I'm totally aware of that, but if you do want to go check it out, there's a whole playlist of about 40 videos or so of me bumbling around Europe on a Royal Enfield Interceptor, having a great time most of the time, and sometimes the most stressful time in my life as well. It was just incredible. But the next steps moving forwards for this current vlog and this setup is to get this thing covered in rust protectant. Normally I use ACF 50 in the past, but now I've got some XCP professional rust blocker. I've been using this on the exhausts on this bike because I found the exhaust pipes on this thing rust immediately. The first day I took it out, they were starting to rust, and I'm not sure if it's rust or just corrosion or I don't know, but no matter how well you clean them or how much of this stuff I put on them, once they dry, they just mark and rust immediately. I can't stop it on the exhaust on this bike. It's just immediate, and that's before the salt on the roads. And yeah, obviously the subframe with the water getting in, that will eventually need replacing, and I'm really anal about keeping my bikes in the best condition I can. So that is one thing that does bother me, you know. You have to think, if you're using the sump guard to bash against things, which is built for, or to stop things flicking up, or to roll over bigger obstacles, then the subframe is pretty important. And if it starts to corrode and snaps whilst you're doing that kind of work, it wouldn't be great for the engine. Just something to bear in mind, and hopefully they can find a fix to doing that without holes in the tops eventually. I go away, like I said, to Spain, so I won't be riding for about a month, so this vlog will go pretty quiet. So do bear with me. I'm going to come back. I've not disappeared. I'm going to come back, but I think the next plan is this Friday I might be joining a load of the TRF for a little trail ride, which I'm looking forward to, providing it's not too wet, because obviously, as we've just discovered in the last vlog, these tires are not ideal for riding in really wet, muddy conditions. And then I will be back towards Christmas, I guess, because then it's Christmas, and there's a couple of icebreakers which I'm looking to do, a couple of winter kind of more rally stuff that I'm looking to do, providing I can get new tires. If I can't get new tires, there is no way I'm going to be going out on this bike much throughout the winter, and that'll be it going forwards. There'll be a couple of weeks off, a couple of weeks of me being quiet, and then I will be back. If you want to stay in touch during those few weeks, obviously you can comment on YouTube in the community section, but I've also got a Discord page which is set up now. There's about 19, 20 members, I think, and it's just a place to keep this community going whilst the vlog might not be fully active. You know, it's kind of like a place where we can go and ask questions. I think so far on there's GPX files, there's a forum for any questions that you want to ask people within the forum, there's an introduce yourself section, there's just general discussions about festivals, ABR, ride outs that we might plan for next year, etc. And it's just a great place to ask questions to other members rather than just me, and we can all have our input on there, and it's just a great place to build community. And that is why I do this. I've had a few questions since the last vlog of pushing this thing to its kind of limit with these tires on, about why did I choose this bike, why not go for a trail bike or something instead, which is more built for that kind of work. Obviously the reason is that I can't afford two bikes. This alone is super expensive to keep running, to insure. The insurance cost me almost half of what this bike cost me, which I feel sick and kind of scared to say on this vlog, but it cost me a lot of money to insure this bike. The running costs, the servicing costs, especially with taking it off-roading as well, are just quite high, you know, generally to maintain this bike. And in the line of work that I do, I don't get paid on the regular, so it's kind of difficult. And just a heads up, you know, I don't do this for a living. This is just what I do for fun, and you know, I might be lucky to make a couple of pounds on each video. And those of you that support me by donating and you know, giving £1 or so a month, thank you so much, because it keeps me going and it definitely gives me a couple of quid to put some fuel in my tank. I really appreciate it. Or those of you that have bought me coffees or beers on Buy Me a Coffee over the past few months, really appreciate it. You keep me going, keep this vlog going. But yeah, I don't do this for a living. I do this for fun because I enjoy it, because I want to build community, I want to have these conversations, and truth is I just enjoy seeing how far these bikes can go. And I'm not going to push them till they break because they're my bikes, you know. I mean, I've seen vlogs where people take these bikes, like especially the MT or the Himalayan, out and push them to the absolute extremes where they are breaking and parts are flying off them and stuff. Obviously I'm not going to do that because this is my bike and I love it and I want to look after it, and I can't afford to fix it if I do throw it down a mountain or something. But I do enjoy pushing these bikes as far as I can within my own limits, and it's been a lot of fun. Something you have to be aware of with watching my vlogs on the lanes and stuff is that these lanes are open to the public as well. You often see walkers, people on horses, people on push bikes, mountain bikes, as well as other trail riders on dirt bikes and trail bikes on these routes. So you have to be really mindful about how hard you ride, how much momentum you're gaining, and just generally how fast you're riding on these tracks, because you have to respect, first of all, the ground, because people walk on it and you don't want to shred it to pieces, but also the fact that you can't just blitz it past someone at 30 miles an hour. There's dogs on the tracks as well, you know. I mean, there's a lot of hazards that you have to be careful about. It's kind of like riding on the road in a way. So if I do ever get the chance to take this bike to an enduro track or to a motocross track or to some closed off sections of, you know, like the ABR festival and stuff, where you can really open this thing up, or in Wales there's some enduro tracks and whatnot, then I will do that and we'll have some proper fun with the right tires on. But for now, we're just taking it easy and just seeing what we can do with this bike. And it's light, you know, it's a light bike. I can pick it up like very, very easily. I dropped it on the hill the other day, picked it up, no problem whatsoever. It was almost impossible to control on my own going up that hill because the ground, my feet, you put your foot down, it would kind of just, you'd be like this on the ground. So it was very hard to control it, and I'm so glad, and I would not have done it without Dave and Tom there to help me. I wouldn't have even attempted it, you know, but it was a lot of fun. And that's it for now. That is it. I mean, look, like I said, more trails to come this year, probably some challenges, probably some icebreaker stuff as well, just with the TRF and other groups that are going out for ride outs, if I can change the tyres. And then next year, I do plan, if I have the money and time, to take this bike on a tour, maybe just across to Spain, not too far. It's not going to be all the way to Bosnia again, or, you know, further than that. As much as I'd love to, if I was getting paid for it, I would definitely do that, but I don't get paid for it, unfortunately, not yet anyway. But I think Spain, the Pyrenees, maybe 2 up with Annabelle, even if it's just for half the journey, to get down there. Is the plan moving forwards for this bike, and obviously other stuff like hopefully the ABR festival next year and some enduro tracks, and just a bit of fun really. But first of all, like I said, I'm going to cover this thing in rust protector. I'm going to wait until Friday, see if I go out on the tracks or not, see if I go out on the trails with the guys for one final ride before I pack it up for a couple of weeks and cover it and just keep it nice and warm and protected from this snow and the salt. And then we'll be back later in the year when it's absolutely freezing midwinter, I'm sure. But yeah, as always, if you're here watching and you haven't subscribed, please do hit subscribe. It helps me out. It also keeps you updated when I do come back with videos. Any questions you've got, fire them over. Any vlogs you want to see, let me know, because you guys definitely help me keep this vlog going by asking questions. And if you want to stay up to date, head over to the Discord, jump on there. It's free. Make an account, jump in on the conversations, ask some questions, and if you're feeling really generous, make a donation to keep this vlog going. I've never actually said that on this vlog, but it definitely does help. I'm realizing that more and more. See you all after I finish this film, if not before on the trails on Friday.